afternoon, Werner. How's it going? Welcome to the channel. We had some pretty crazy ups and downs, so I just want to bring you here today to go ahead and talk about the Youves platform and what's going on and all the great achievements you guys have had in the past couple of months, and just a little update from you guys.
Sure. Hello, Mark. Thanks a lot for having me, and thanks a lot for having me again. So yeah, it's been quite a wild ride these last days, and yeah, we see that overall the platform worked well, although there's clearly still some things that we need to improve. So I guess what we uh, what we saw ourselves and heard from a number of people was the responsiveness of the front end of the website. And I'm not a technician or developer, so I can only quote what I've been told. But my understanding is that it had to do with the update of Tezos to the Hangzhou, and that the nodes took a bit longer to respond. So that's why there were some delays. But yeah, don't quote me on that. This is just my very vague understanding. Um, Apart from that, we're happy that the platform managed to maintain its integrity even in these really wild times, because I mean there was really quite a significant drop of the test price, and in the end the peg for the US dollars worked really well, which I mean we're really happy about. Quite frankly, ever since the last amendment on the platform, this we're very happy with how closely it tracks the dollar value.
Yeah, someone's running
And
bots.
hmm?
I said someone's running bots in the background.
Yeah, that's by all means that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, yeah.
And the yeah, now even in these very turbulent times in the markets, that yeah, everything in it maintained its integrity, and uh, there were obviously quite a number of liquidations or step-ins on vaults, and I appreciate that nobody likes to get liquidated. It's very unpleasant, and there's a loss associated with it. But we have to make sure that there's some kind of way that even in very fast market downturns, there is somebody assuring that the vaults are adequately collateralized. And unfortunately, this works with an incentive mechanism that benefits the party stepping in and punishes the original minter. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, we just don't know another way how to do this. And
Uh,
but we and yeah, like I just got around being liquidated because I had enough collateral, but one of my colleagues got liquidated, and even he is kind of annoyed about it. but we just see like yeah, that's just part of the game, and unfortunately, if we want to make sure that this platform keeps working well, we need to have such a mechanism in place.
yeah, otherwise the peg is completely gone, and it's not respected. So, I mean, it makes sense to me. I had a friend of mine. He was just going around. He's trying to liquidate people, and I was just like, "Dang, man, that's kind of messed up." I'm like, here I'm trying to like save myself, slowly getting. I was pretty far away actually. I mean, I had to get down to like I think like 250 or something like that before I got liquidated. But I didn't want to take any risks. It's quite a big. It's not 100% liquidation, but it's quite a big chunk, right? So, and then you're selling for a loss too, or it depends on when you bought, but yeah.
Yeah,
So, but it's just, yeah, it's hard to really know. I mean, Christmas is coming and New Year's is coming and people sell for profits and it's going to happen. I mean, no financial advice, right? But I mean, it happens like almost every year. So I don't remember a year when Bitcoin did well and like super well in December.
is that the case? I never really looked at that pattern. Is that very ongoing?
From what I noticed, like Chinese New Year seems to kill Bitcoin, but maybe the Chinese are out of it now. I don't know. Yeah,
I
because
can't really imagine they're really out of it. I mean, I can see
yeah,
they have many restrictions, but are they really out?
yeah, like they're probably the ones running the bots on Uves. I think one thing I did want to touch on is, are you guys going to consolidate your liquidity onto one AMM? Do you think in the future? There's right now the highest liquidity I think is on Plenty, and it's only $200,000 liquidity. Um, Personally, I'm like I was looking for liquidity. I'm like I can't find it anywhere. I have to do like $2,000 at a time and then wait a couple hours and without getting horrible slippage.
I mean, the liquidity against, I think the highest liquidity is the US dollars versus the wrapped USDC.
Oh, really? On Plenty?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you have to basically you have to swap. Let me see. You have to. So the key is you have to swap from Plenty to USDC, right?
Mhm.
And then you swap from USDC to UUSD. Is that how you do it? Is that the highest liquidity path?
Which way around? So you're looking to buy
Uh,
UUSD or
to
you're looking to
buy it,
sell?
yeah.
To buy, yeah. So you need to get the wrapped USDCs in one format or another and buy UUSD with it.
Oh, okay. I guess that does fix it because people can come over from like Ethereum, or you can pull up. Well, actually, yeah, just come over from Ethereum, um, and then go into yeah. It looks like Plenty USDC is 600,000, and then UUSD and USDC is 550,000. So yeah, if anybody has like 60 or 70K that like position that they have to fill, they'd have to do it in like probably like maybe 6 or 7 times before, and then wait a bit for the
Yeah.
slippage to cool off.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately, the liquidity is not there yet where we would like it to be, but I guess it's also part of the whole early days growth story that I mean, this we need to do this step by step.
I had an interesting
See,
idea for you guys. I don't know. Actually, I just thought of it. It just popped in my head. But what if you guys started like just a one-to-one swap on your own website, and then charged a 0.5% fee, and then basically that fee would go back to buy and burn you, and then you guys would have you just host that huge liquidity pool uh, really easily, and then you could actually loan that out to other front ends and be like, hey, we're hosting this just because we need to give you more incentive, you more what do you call it? You more use cases,
value
more
or use
volume. Yeah,
cases
yeah,
for
value
the
use
U or
cases
for the US dollar.
for you. Yeah, you could use the you could buy back and burn you with the fees, and then also give the fees back to people who stake in that liquidity pool. And then because the fees are so high, people would get what do you call it, more returns on it. And then
Mhm.
once the liquidity is so high, the people who own the U, they can use the governance to reduce the fees if they think that fees should be reduced. But right now, I'd rather pay a high fee over this really crappy what do you call it, slippage. I'd
Mhm.
rather pay 0.5% fee over or even 1% fee over 3% slippage, which is what you're looking at when you push like 30, $40,000. And when people who have that kind of money don't really have the time to kind of just go on and flip all day and
Yeah,
swap all day. They're the kind of people who are like, I want to pay 1% and just swap once and then be done with it. So I don't know. I just thought of an idea. I don't know if it's any good, but
it's an interesting idea. We talked about a number of initiatives, like with AMMs or like working with other dexes and farms. But yeah, it's definitely something we need to work on because this, uh, yeah, we need to find a way that there's more liquidity on this. But yeah, we haven't really found the perfect solution yet.
yeah, I mean, there's so many AMMs. It's hard to figure out which one's going to be the right partner as well. I think so.
Yeah, I
You
mean
go-
that's also a thing. I mean, there's more dexes coming, which on the one hand I obviously appreciate that the DeFi environment, the DeFi ecosystem on Tezos is growing, but on the other hand, I also see that with more and more dexes competing for the same liquidity, you'll end up like having it more dispersed, more split up, which then incurs higher slippage again. So it's not as easy one to solve, but also it's good that there isn't just one, because if there's just one, that people tend to get lazy. It's good to have competition.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, and I think each team has their own strengths and weaknesses, and some are crippled by things that they can't even control, which kind of sucks. I noticed, but um, hopefully, Tender Bake will fix all that. And Tender Mint and Hangzhou, I'm sure, helped out a lot with a lot of things. So I don't even know how to pronounce that
I mean, the
Hangzhou.
feedback I got from the developers in the team is that they're very happy with the Hangzhou update once it was all done, because it's very stable and runs very smoothly.
The
So
timing was just horrible with the it was like the exact time that Bitcoin crashed. It was like, wow, if Tezos
yeah,
wasn't like number 50 on the market cap, I would think it would be like some sort of like weird scheming going on behind the scenes. But I'm like, well, if anybody has that kind of time to do that to a 50 rank 50 on the market cap, and I don't know, maybe we're actually in a better place than we thought we were.
yeah. I mean, I haven't done any analysis, but I doubt somebody can just create this a market crash of
I don't think so. I
this
don't think so.
magnitude. So I think it was
Tezos
just
luck.
unfortunate timing.
Yeah. Tezos luck. Ubisoft is launching, but Bitcoin is crashing. It's like, wow, that was actually really big news. I played the game this morning and the game is amazing. I was like, the actual game they're gonna launch with the NFTs.
The Ghost Recon or which one?
Yeah, Ghost Recon. It looks really cool and I played it. It's pretty addicting. So
I haven't played that. I remember I played one of the early versions a long time ago,
I
because
feel like
that's
they've
also
been
been
so
around for a
focused
while.
on building the ecosystem inside that now that they have it built and now they're building Tezos, like the NFTs on it, it's going to be really interesting, especially since there's like 4 Ghost Recons. So I'm wondering if eventually you can take the NFTs out and put them in other games. But anyway, sorry to get off topic.
No, no, but it's an interesting thing because I guess if you don't, if there's no way of moving them to other games, then I think that there's still potential to do more with the NFTs because that's kind of the whole point, in my view, that it is portable, not just within one ecosystem.
Yeah, yeah, like it's a skin for an M16 in every single game. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, was there anything else you wanted to I think you remember you mentioned. I think you may have already talked about it, but you wanted to say something about more about the kind of downtime during the like the issues that the website had and things like that. And what the if it was all node issues. My friend, I remember he was trying to liquidate and he couldn't quite liquidate because like for some reason he pressed the button, but it would be unresponsive, or it would say there's nothing in the vault, but there was actually the other column would say the vault was full. So it's really confusing.
Mm. So yeah, as I my understanding is that these were issues with the nodes related to the update, but I'm not too deep into that topic. So, but just I think it all came together, and that was a bit unfortunate. The front end, the website couldn't really display the latest information, so certain things, certain features wouldn't work as planned. What we have seen is that the most of the liquidations that were made when the market downturn was at its worst were actually done by bots. So people
Mm.
were not interacting with any of these vaults through the front end, but they were just directly on the blockchain itself. So there, obviously, you circumvent the issues that the website might have. And just from a decentralized ideal point of view, we're quite happy that there's now so many bots or bots that are this active, that are liquidating vaults whenever there's a strong market downturn, because
Yeah.
in the end it adds to the stability of our tracker tokens, and it adds to the integrity of the platform. So that's definitely something we're very happy with. So that even in this strong downturn, we never felt there was any danger of things going terribly wrong for the platform.
Yeah, just yeah, I think it kind of sucks because the regular Joe doesn't realize that bots are actually what runs crypto in the end, and it's actually what keeps most of the crypto system secure and
Mm,
keeps the what do you call it, the synthetic assets and things like that secure. And even NFTs, I think it pushes NFT generative projects to kind of go above and beyond to make sure they whitelist the community and not just kind of throw out their NFTs, because if all they do that is that they're making what $50,000 on these generative projects, but they're only spending 2 or 3 weeks like whitelisting people. I'm like, I don't think that's enough work, and I think the
mm.
bot they deserve to get botted. If they do it right, then the bots won't be able to do what they do.
Mm.
So yeah, I think the same goes for Youves and for many other things on Tezos. I don't bot myself. I was using the command line. I didn't actually create any SSH, but yeah, I managed to get like some of the NFTs, and I tried to mess around with the use vaults, but I couldn't quite figure it out with the command line. And plus, my pinky started cramping, so. But yeah, I think that's a really good point, though. Bots are what keeps the Tesla's ecosystem secure. Although it does kind of ruin the purpose of the front end in a way. But
Yeah, I mean, this is I agree that that's a bit of a contentious issue because, of course, in these downturn times, and also that's why we built the front end to do the step-ins, the liquidations. We didn't build them so that people couldn't use them when the time comes. But yeah, now obviously, yeah, that just was this unfortunate timing, and uh, yeah, I can see how this is slightly unsatisfactory for the
the
users that
normal
want to do it
users, yeah.
manually. To be fair, obviously, it's always hard to compete with a bot if you interact manually because the bots just tend to be faster. But at least, yeah, I can see it would be just a lot more. It would feel a lot better if also for us if the website was there and everyone could interact fully, like with full functionality and everything.
Yeah, I think so. I think in the end, like as things get more progressive, like I know that certain NFT products they have a middle contract where that contract pays all the gas and it forces everyone to interact through that contract, and the only way to do that would be through like a captcha or something like that. And then
Hmm.
the bots can't really get through the captcha, which would actually be a layer two solution, which you guys would have to like implement like a bot yourself in order to take the information and then pay the gas. Then you have to pay the gas fees, and where would the gas fees come from? But I mean that won't come till later down the line, and it's going to cost money. And I think the government because of the gas fees, and then governance will have to vote in the process, and eventually that'll come, but people have to understand it. Yeah, bots is the cheapest, most efficient way to keep the synthetic assets like stable. So
Yeah, and also, I mean, for us, we really try to eventually reach this ideal of a DAO, like to really have this being fully decentralized. And so we don't want to build any kind of processes whereby it's just us, like Ubenitic as the developer, as the main developer on Youves, doing any kind of actions. We want this to be open so that the community can provide these bots that provide the stability ultimately and make sure the platform can run well.
yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I can't
Uh,
wait till they start making. I know on Ethereum it's easier to get bots. Like you can find out open source bots and make sure the code is good. But on Tezos, people keep most of their stuff secret, or you have to pay under the table to get a hold of one of these bots, or make it yourself. So
mm,
yeah, hopefully then it'll
um,
be more open source in the future. Mhm.
I can give you some outlook as well as to things that we plan. So, like last week, we had this vote on Twitter for the next tracker token, and
Oh,
it's
I
going to
missed that.
be a tracker token on gold. It's going to be the UXAU. That's definitely, well, that will be put up for a governance vote as we had in the previous amendment proposal. So most likely today we're going to launch we're going to start the voting process for the amendment process two,
Hmm.
the amendment proposal, sorry. And there's also going to be some other feature suggestions in there, and then yeah, we just basically we want to have a feature whereby the platform profits are no longer just paid out in, say, US dollars or UDFI, but that the platform aims to sell these and buy back U tokens from the market.
Hmm. Ah, UXAU. I see. Gold will be the
XAU as
next.
the currency ticker for gold.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, gold would be great. I know there was like this Indian company that tried to do gold and silver assets on Teslas, but it never really worked out. Or I never really heard anything since then. But
But did
um,
they want to do it physically backed or
I
like
think it was physically
this?
backed. Yeah,
Okay. I mean,
but
physically back, then you run into the same issues as any, say, Tether or USDC, which, I mean, that you can
government.
solve them to the extent that it's possible by staying centralized. But I think it's a complementary approach to what we're doing,
Yeah, I
because
think
for us,
synthetic
that the
assets are
gold
really
will
good.
be very much like the UDeFi. The collateral will be the UUSD, the interest rate, the adaptive interest rate. If the community approves it, the adaptive interest rate will be the same as in new DeFi, and you can also decide whether you want the vault to be open for the conversions or not. You know, if the peg is not held, and you can opt into the conversions, and then you'll get the U tokens, or you cannot. Or you can basically stay out, and then you just won't get any U tokens.
That makes sense. Uh,
A little further down the line, we're probably going to do an options product as well. Or
okay.
again, we're going to suggest to the community to do an options product, and if it gets approved, I think that could be quite exciting. It would be a short-term option product, either on Bitcoin or on tests initially, and with a limited downside for the buyer and seller. So it's an option spread, and it probably would be short dated for like a week or so, and you can trade them against the liquidity pool.
Oh, okay. So is it going to be like let me think, like options? Like options is basically, is that leverage in a way? It's kind of like what you do
It
now, but
this specific option will be leveraged. I mean, you depending on what you do with options, you can create leverage. It's just that you if you buy an outright option, you have the right but not the obligation to either buy or sell. So you pay away a premium, but then you you benefit if the price moves in the right direction, but you don't lose if it moves in the wrong direction.
okay. So
So you have
lower leverage and
so there that's something we're quite excited about. But yeah, we
mm,
need to kind of fix a few other things beforehand and launch this UXAU.
cool.
But yeah, I'm really excited about the options product, and I can definitely give you a bit more details when the time is closer to the launch. And I can also give you a walkthrough or tutorial.
Yeah, it sounds great.
That's
Yeah, I can't wait till we get more liquidity on Tezos so I can trade more.
we just need to have a higher Tesla's price. It just
Yeah,
should go up 5x, 10x, and then a lot of issues will be solved automatically.
I think so. Yeah. Yep, and the transaction speed, I think will help. I tried to pull a bunch of like Ethereum friends over, and they always complain about the transaction speed, and they don't have the time to spend on Tezos DeFi when they can get all their work done on the other DeFi and be finished within like 10 minutes a day, and then spend the rest of their time investing or whatever. Whereas Tezos
Mm.
takes like 45 minutes to do all their DeFi work. So hopefully, but I think Use is they'd love Use. So no, I've never heard anybody complain about Use, and it's one of the most I think exciting platforms on Tezos. Uh, very well thought out,
Thank you very much.
not rushed. So yeah,
I think generally, like in terms of time spent to do anything on the platform, there's definitely there's room for improvement in terms of automations, and we're also looking to maybe encourage third-party development for like these things that add on to the platform, where you can have maybe a little smart contract that just does a few steps for you every day. Like, you know, you could claim the U tokens and stake them or stuff like that. Because
oh
like,
yeah, yeah, like auto compounding or
yeah,
staking or automatic auto staking claim for like a 5% fee. I would pay a 5% fee if I didn't have to go on there every day. A lot of this stuff, I'm like,
yeah,
I would pay a fee easily. That saves me so much time. I can focus on other stuff. But I think that they have that on like Cafe Finance on it runs all the EVM projects, kind of like
Mhm.
compound interest. And then Solana has one with Soul Farm. Uh, so yeah, that would be great if you guys were the first project to actually get like what do you call it, like compound, not compound. I'm trying to say auto stake.
Mm.
That'd be really cool.
Again, as I'm not a developer, I'm not sure whether there's any potential security issues because I guess you have a hot wallet then, but I'm not sure. So that's something I need
Yeah.
to check with the developers as well.
Tezos is very secure, and I know that a lot of Ethereum products have like, it's that then nobody really cares a whole bunch about. They care about security so long as nobody gets hacked. But they're like 90%. I feel like Tezos is much more. Everyone is very security oriented. It's just part of the culture.
Mm.
So that's a good part about Tezos. I had no rug pulls or anything like that yet. So
Knock
knock on
on
wood.
wood.
You got rug pulled. No, just kidding. But yeah. All right. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on today?
uh, Not for now. I think that's all.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining the chat, and I really hope this helped everybody learn a little bit more about Use and their plans for the future. And if you didn't hear about their new update, they're going to create a new gold based. What would you call it? Synthetic asset? Is that what they call it?
Correct. So the governance vote is going to start today, most
Cool.
likely. So then I think till Monday, and then people can vote. We hope that they will vote yes, and then we can go ahead and then probably launch this sometime in January.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I think I would personally, I'd like to see some sort of a little bit more use for the U token. I do love the governance aspect though, but it would be
Hmm.
cool to get some buyback and burn action going just for fun. Everyone always likes that.
I doubt we're going to do a burn, but I mean the buyback
Yeah.
is likely going to come with this new update.
Oh, okay. Like today, the one you guys are voting for.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What can you share more information about that, or what the cycle
Yeah.
will be
So
like?
the rather than just having the profits that the platform makes in US dollars and UDeFi, and assuming the vote gets through in UXAU, in three different staking pool, and you get these profits in these tracker tokens. We would unify it to a single staking pool, and a single staking pool would receive all the profits from the different tracker tokens.
No.
It would then try to trade these against U tokens,
Oh, okay. Using which
and
liquidity
it would
pool, you think?
we'd have to see which is the most liquid, just the one that makes most sense,
Okay.
where we have most liquidity. And once we like, and then we would try to basically sell them all against U tokens, but we need to impose some kind of limitations because if the market's too illiquid, you don't just want to trade and waste everyone's profit on trading slippage.
Hmm.
So we would trade up until a certain limit. Also, we want to make sure the tracker tokens don't move out too much out of their peg. And then you would, in this unified staking pool, you would receive U tokens as benefits, and only U tokens if possible. And wherever not everything can be traded without moving the price too much, we'd have to then still pay out in the tracker tokens. But assuming the markets are liquid and everything runs smoothly, you would only receive U tokens.
I see. Well, hopefully with
That
Quicker
would
Swap
also probably
2.0.
be a bit of a support for the U price.
Yeah, that would be. I think that'd be really great for the U price, and also decomplicating, or what do you call it? Decomplicating the sort of having all these different like tracker tokens rather instead of just having
Totally.
one U token, and you rule them all.
No, but I mean, I guess you can see that we did this step by step, and it's just easier to start with one tracker token and one pool, and then you do a second one with its own pool. But then we also see now with the third one, it would be very beneficial to only have a single pool. And obviously, the things need to change a little bit. But if say at some point we have 50 different tracker tokens, you probably don't want 50 different pools. It'll just be a mess.
Yeah. It'd be cool if you could do like a liquidity lock-in as well for you with each transaction. That might be interesting as well.
We're looking at a way of doing this that makes sense, but is also not too disruptive. So
Mm,
we have some first ideas, but they all are either quite disruptive or they are quite complex. So we need to see whether we can find some kind of sweet spot so that we have some lockup that makes sense, that will not enrage people too much, but
mm.
also is not too complex and uses too much gas and storage.
Makes sense. Yeah. Well, you guys are the experts, so I'm sure you'll figure something out.
Thanks.
All right. Well, I think that's good for today. We got some really good information, and yeah, I'm really excited to this vote. I'll have to collect my U tokens from my different wallets and cast my vote as well.
Very good. So thank you very much for your time.
Yep. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bro, we need to pump it. Everybody, go to Twitter and hashtag the things. Pump it. Pump it real good. We need a good pump. Everybody deserves a nice Tezos pump.